Hello and welcome to TTV News. The audience, TayNinhTV province has more than 6.9 billion Vietnamese dong from the central purchase for public investments in 2023 that has not been allocated. This is the domestic capital for investment in National Targets Program, in which it includes the National Targets Program on social economic development in ethnic minority and mountainous areas, and the National Target Program on Sustainable Poverty Reduction.
Specifically, the National Target Program for Socio-Economic Development in Ethnic Minority and Mountainous Areas still has nearly 4 billion Vietnam dong unallocated. It includes the investment project to upgrade the centralized water supply station in Hòa Hiệp Commune, invested by the Clean Water Center, Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, with the expected capital plan in 2023. Project supports investment in building cultural and sports institutions. It is things like upgrading and repairing 12 cultural houses, building 6 new cultural houses in hamlets with a large number of ethnic minorities, with central budget support level for the period of 2021-2025. It is expected that the allocation will continue after the projects are approved by the competent authority. The National Target Program for Sustainable Poverty Reduction has not yet assigned a detailed plan. The investment project on infrastructure, software, and information technology equipment for the Employment Service Center. Vocational education of TayNinhTV province is expected to be allocated 100% of the plan, which is about 3 billion Vietnam dong after it's been approved by the competent authority. At the basic construction briefing session of the second quarter, Mr. Yumang Thang, Vice Chairman of the People's Committee of TayNinhTV province, directed the specialized construction agencies to carry out the following tasks: accelerate the process of construction projects, organize the appraisal of feasibility study reports, economic technical reports on construction investment, construction design and implementation after the basic design of the work construction investment project in the field of management, and submission to competent authorities to approve the project and allocate the capital plan for implementation.
At a regular meeting in June of TayNinhTV Province People's Committee on June 15, the Department of Natural Resources and Environment submitted a report on the issuance of the resolution on land acquisition for the social economic development, the national and public interest in TayNinhTV Province, the second phase of 2023.
There are 2 projects that need land acquisition with a total area of 42.95 hectares, including the Bang Thao Resettlement Area in Hưng Thuận Commune, and the project of thematic sightseeing and resort on the top of Bà Đen Mountain. Bà Đen Mountain National Tourist Area, TayNinhTV province, will have land use and need to convert the purpose of using forest land to commercial and service land. During land acquisition, the area is taken according to the actual measure area. Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc, Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, emphasized the need to change the land use purpose for the 2 projects, contribute to ensuring social security for people whose land is required upon site clearance, diversify and optimize the potential of Bà Đen Mountain Tourist Area, increase added value for the whole tourist area, and turn Bà Đen Mountain National Tourist Area into a national class tourist area. The Department of Natural Resources and Environment completes the report for the Provincial People's Committee to submit to the People's Council of TayNinhTV province. TayNinhTV province has PCI Index, Provincial Competitiveness Index in 2022, ranked 53 out of 63 provinces in the country. In 2022, the PCI Competitiveness Index of TayNinhTV province is reduced by 18 places compared to 2021. Not only that, this index has continuously decreased over the years. This is a very worrying issue. In the past time, the Provincial People's Committee has invited departments in the province to meet to find out the causes and solutions to improve the competitiveness indicators in particular and improve the administrative indicators of the province in general. in which the solution can be followed to promote the application of information technology and digital transformation on all three pillars: digital government, digital economy, and digital society, especially improving and promoting the application of online public services at level 3 and level 4. Besides, they also strengthen the application of non-cash payments for public services in taxation, banking, treasury, etc. Scores for the 10th grade entrance exam for the academic year of 2023-2024 were announced by the Department of Education and Training in the afternoon of June 15. Candidates can check the test result at the contest site or through the website TayNinhTVToday.edu.vn. If the candidate has questions about the results, they are allowed to make a re-examination application. The time for submitting the application for re-examination is regulated by the Department of Education and Training. Particularly, Hoàng Lê Kha High School for the gifted will receive a review application from June 15 to 5 p.m. June 17, 2023. On June 21st, Hoàng Lê Kha High School for the gifted will announce the results of the re-examination and the matriculation results. For 24 schools with combined entrance exam, the results will be announced at the end of July 2023. This year, the results of the first, second, and third aspirations will be announced at the same time. Candidates who do not pass on requirements will be withdrawn their applications and submitted to the schools that organize the admission.
Turn to other news. In recent years, TayNinh's agriculture industry has prospered with the high proportions in each field, from cultivation to animal husbandry.
The average annual growth rate of the agricultural sector in Tây Ninh province has always remained stable from 5% to 7%. They have value to harvested products on 1 hectare of arable land, reaching 80 million Vietnam dong, and aquaculture reaching over 500 million Vietnam dong. The varieties of plants and animals have much improved through the implementation of quality programs on plant and animal varieties. From here, they gradually form a system of key crops and livestock, distributed into concentrated production areas, which is the basis for building large fields. The situation of livestock and poultry production was kept stable. The proportion of livestock in agriculture reached 15%. Agricultural economic structure shifted in the right direction. In the province, there are many advanced production models applying new science and technology that bring high value and economic efficiency. This will be an important premise that needs to be inherited and promoted highly for the agricultural development of the province, according to the agricultural restructuring scheme oriented to 2030. In the afternoon of June 15, the organizing committee of the second TayNinhTV Youth and Children's Football Tournament in 2023, Tân Nhiên Cup, held the sponsorship signing ceremony and tournament press conference. This football tournament is included in the annual competition system. These are the efforts of the radio and television station, the Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism, the Department of Education and Training in creating a healthy and useful sports playground for children when summer is coming. At the press conference, the organizing committee also said that this will be a tradition tournament held annually to nurture passion and give wings to football talents to develop in the future. The young players will have the opportunity to compete to improve their professional skills, creating a source of better quality athletes for the provincial football team. This tournament will take place in two competitions, mini with 5 people for children and mini with 7 people for teenagers.
In the morning of June 15, with the companionship from the local government and sponsor, the team of Rome Heart to Heart program visited and gave money to support the program's character. This is a program produced by TayNinh Radio and Television Station.
That is Võ Nguyễn Đức Nghĩa, born in 2019. He is currently living in Tu Hai Hamlet, Đông Khởi, Cam Châu Thành district. Is unfortunately suffering from a serious illness. His mother always be by his side. On living expenses depend entirely on her husband. Their family income is quite precarious. After the broadcast of Give Me a New Life, the program's representative, Mr. Vũ Xuân Trường, director of TayNinhTV Radio and Television Station, presented the family with an amount of 85 million Vietnam dong and many gifts from sponsors. In recent years, TayNinhTV Radio and Television Station has always tried to perform well as political tasks. In addition, we also carry out social work, especially the From Heart to Heart program, which has created strong vitality and created a bridge between sponsors in the past time. And for the purpose of sharing and supporting, creating conditions for people with difficult circumstances to rise up and to have a full and peaceful life.
Cuộc sống hạnh phúc hơn, bình yên hơn và đầy đủ hơn.
The From Heart to Heart program of TayNinhTV Radio and Television Station always wishes to spread as many positive messages to the community as well as press.
The audience closeness, enthusiasm, and sincerity are the comments that the committee, local authorities, and people of Phu Chi Kham Mueang give to Ms. Thi Thị Bé Loan, chairwoman of the Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee in the Phu Chi Kham Mueang. She is not only exemplary, responsible for work, but she also has active contributions to the implementations of campaigns and patriotic emulation movement. These activities have contributed to the development of the locality.
Ms. Loan has worked for the position of chairwoman of the Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee of Phu Chi Kham Mueang since 2016. In 2021, she was assigned to be the chairperson of the Kham Mueang Women's Union, and from February 2023, once again, she was elected to be the chairwoman of the Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee in Phu Chi Kham Mueang. In any position, she always tries her best to overcome difficulties. She also boldly innovates how to do things, finds suitable solutions to complete the assigned tasks. She always does her best to be worthy of being an exemplary career and party member, loved by the people. In my opinion, a person with a front line must always be close to the people, always listen to people's opinions. If something goes wrong, I must always put myself in the shoes of the people. Understanding the hardships of the people here, because they mainly live by farming, Ms. Loan is always concerned about how to help her locality develop on a par with other areas of Trang Bang Thao to help improve the life of people here. She has actually mobilized people to perform tasks according to regulations. As a result, in the first 6 months of 2023, she mobilized the Front for the Poor to reach more than 330 million Vietnam dong. In addition, she also strongly mobilized sponsors to support the construction of 7 houses for poor households and disadvantaged households, and gave thousands of gifts to households of policy families, poor households, and disadvantaged children, with a total value of nearly 660 million Vietnam dong. From there, it helps to contribute to the construction of rural transport bridges, creating favorable conditions for people to travel and for socio-economic development. Ms. Loan understands my family's difficult situation. Thanks to her help, now my family has a house that has just been given an insurance card, but also many other gifts. I'm grateful to her. From her efforts and enthusiasm for her work, Ms. Loan was honored to receive many certificates of merit from all levels and sectors. This is a source of motivation for her to continuously contribute more. Among them, it is the recognition and trust that Ms. Loan has received from the authorities and local people that she deeply appreciates. Ms. Loan is a dynamic, enthusiastic, and responsible female officer. She always fulfills her responsibilities in propagating and mobilizing people to implement the national targets program on building a new rural area. It is hoped that Ms. Loan, with the enthusiasm and dedication of her youth, with the attention and support of leaders at all levels, and the companionship of local people, will continue to promote her role as an exemplary front-line officer and contribute to developing Phu Chi strongly in the coming time.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.